Hypertension is always referred to as a silent killer, and the reason is because most individuals who actually have high blood pressure levels do not experience any signs or any symptoms. They normally go about their daily activities as usual. But the good thing is that you can actually reduce the risk of acquiring hypertension through living a healthy lifestyle. And if you're hypertensive, you can lead a normal life by ensuring that you take your medications as prescribed by your doctor, and also living a healthy lifestyle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ongoi Mwangi, a clinician. This is a channel where we look at matters health. So if you're new here, or if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, kindly hit on the subscription button. And also help me share the video. So hypertension is a broad topic, but we shall be splitting it into subtopics. So for today we shall be looking at what is hypertension, risk factors of hypertension, as well as the classification of hypertension. We shall begin by looking at what is blood pressure. So blood pressure is a force that is exerted by blood against the arteries. So if this force is too high and for a sustained period of time, this individual may be declared to be hypertensive, but still we need to take several readings on one encounter, and then take an average of these readings. So if the average is actually high, this individual will be required to come back to the hospital for a number of times for monitoring of the blood pressure. So classification of hypertension, we have primary hypertension, which is also referred to as essential hypertension, and this is a kind of hypertension whereby we don't have any identifiable cause. This kind of hypertension affects 95% of individuals, and actually one develops it over a long duration of time or over a period of time. And for this kind of hypertension, we have risk factors. We've said that we don't have causes, but we have risk factors that can lead to one acquiring primary hypertension. For the risk factors, they are again classified into modifiable. By modifiable, we mean that an individual has no control over these, or we don't have control over these kind of risk factors. One of them is age. Hypertension, or the risk of acquiring hypertension, increases with age. So the older we become, the higher the chances of acquiring hypertension. So hypertension is more common from the age of 60 years and above, but this doesn't mean that younger individuals cannot acquire hypertension. So another risk factor is gender. It's more common among males compared to females. We also have family history. So if you've had a history of hypertension in your family, maybe your parents or your relatives had hypertension, the risk of acquiring hypertension also goes up. Then you also have a race, whereby you find that hypertension is more common among the blacks compared to the whites. For the modifiable risk factors, or risk factors that we actually have control over, we have physical inactivity. So individuals who live a sedentary kind of lifestyle, whereby they don't exercise, they don't walk a lot, they don't do any manual work, they are at an increased risk of acquiring hypertension. We have being obese or being overweight. We have stress. Stress is actually a huge risk factor to acquiring hypertension, because when our bodies are working under stress, there are certain hormones that are normally released, and these hormones can lead to constriction of blood vessels, and this will in turn lead to an increased blood pressure. We also have smoking and excessive consumption of alcohol. Then you have a diet that is high in sodium, especially the raw salt that we normally add to foods. We also have a diet that is low in fruits and vegetables. Actually, these also help to stabilize blood pressure. And then also a diet that is high in foods that have saturated fats, for example, the fast foods, which include the chips, the fried chicken, yeah, these can put one at a risk of acquiring hypertension. Now let's look at secondary hypertension. Just as the name suggests, secondary hypertension is as a result of something. So one of the causes of secondary hypertension is uncontrolled diabetes. We have thyroid disorders, we have kidney diseases, we have liver diseases, we have certain birth control methods, for example the pills which contain estrogen. Estrogen will definitely increase the risk of acquiring hypertension. We also have certain medications, for example the NSAIDs or the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which include brufen, diclofenac. These can also increase the risk of acquiring hypertension. We also have medications that we refer to as steroids, which include prednisolone and hydrocortisone. We also have brain tumors or brain injuries, which can be as a result of an accident. Yeah, these can also lead to one acquiring hypertension. Now there's something that I forgot to mention, and this is something we refer to as white coat hypertension. The individuals who by the fact that they're in a hospital environment actually develop anxiety, and this would lead to the pressure going up. So for this kind of individuals, it's advisable to take the blood pressure from home in an environment that is more relaxed. So that's what I had for you today. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to watch out for the next video where we shall be looking at signs and symptoms of hypertension, management of hypertension, and what you can actually do in order to reduce the risk of acquiring hypertension. Thank you.